Well, Charleston White, who you had an altercation with a while back, a video circulated of him taking the stand at 16 over a murder he was involved with, where he's actually testifying against 3 of his own friends in exchange for a 12-year sentence.
Right.
So the telling is nothing new. He's been doing it most of his life.
Well, and it's cold because Charleston White is what, 15, 16 years old at the time?
16.
He's scared as fuck. And everybody that's on the street that carry a gun or whatever at that age, even me, were afraid of certain shit. Me, it had to be my pops. Until I started carrying guns. I ain't afraid no more. But when you going through that juvenile hall, Los Padrinos and all this other shit at a young age, you nervous. And Charleston White was scared. These people come at you, they got it already figured out. You finna do life in prison. At 16, you'll never see your family again. He's scared. I ain't saying it's right what he did, because his homeboys got time. But he did time, and he's a kid. He's scared.
Yeah, and he stood on it. He goes, "Yeah, I took the stand.
Yeah,
this is what I'm doing. I'm still telling on people."
You know, these dudes on social media, and for any guy that sit here and say he banged for 40 years and never had a fight or never been to prison, he ain't never did no gang violence. We all been through this shit. And we all get nervous. You got a Huggy Bear in every motherfucking neighborhood. These dudes need to stop. These cats are winning every fight they ever had with 5 and 10 niggas at one time that jumped him. Come on, man. There ain't no super gangsters out here. And Charleston White, regular dude, regular kid.
Well, yeah, Steven Jackson actually ran into Charleston White recently and confronted him. I guess Charleston White had mentioned some things about George Floyd because Steven Jackson and George Floyd were close.
Right.
And I guess he had mentioned that George Floyd had pulled out a gun on a pregnant woman. And Steven Jackson said, yes, that case did happen, but George Floyd was taking the case for someone else. But there was a confrontation with Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson doesn't like me either, last I checked. So me and him had a back and forth over DMs, and I said, listen, you can pull up to my studio anytime.
Right.
Come on through.
So did him and Charleston fight?
No, I don't think so. I think it was an argument.
Charleston White is a lucky dude. Very lucky dude. But Charleston White...
Charleston's going to press charges, though. If you punch him, he's going to press charges. He's going to file a lawsuit.
When I was in Texas, that's all I thought about. And I had guns, and I could have not made it out of Texas.
And what would that accomplish?
Huh?
What would that accomplish? Someone else be raising your grandson?
It wouldn't accomplish nothing, because he's a little bitty dude, and I was at the point where I was ready to just grab him by his throat and do him wrong. But I wouldn't have gained nothing from it. And he kept saying, see, I told you was Mob James. Boy, just say you want it. And it would all went bad for him and me trying to get home.
Yeah. Yeah, look, he's still Charleston White. I pretty much leave him alone at this point. I just don't see a point in it, because when I say something, he responds with something outrageous and ridiculous. And, I don't watch it. I keep it moving. I understand that he does what he does, and he got to where he is by doing that.
Let me ask you this. Can you be mad at Charleston White because Charleston White is doing what everybody else is doing? Everybody want to hear negativity. Don't nobody want to hear real good shit. You know what I'm saying? So Charleston White creates this bullshit where everything is fucked up, or this person that. He hears something and he run with it. He do his homework. Charleston White is just like another regular motherfucker. All money is good money. And one day he gonna find out that it's not.
Well, he's had a lot of altercations. Remember, he pepper sprayed Soulja Boy. He got jumped on stage, I think, in Texas. He got beat up at the barbershop.
I think some of them is little cliques, little shit they be doing. Like the loose cannon guy. They on the phone talking about him and Brick Baby had a fight in jail. Y'all niggas ain't fighting in the feds. Just see a nigga and then take off. You ain't doing that. You know, so they lying. They want to keep the little clout shit or whatever they call going. And this is where Charleston White at. He got to create something for it to be that.